Guys, how long have women been boring for? Like, is this just an issue for my generation specifically, or has this been like a lifelong struggle across all generations? Because tell me why you can't joke with women about literally anything. I made one very tame, very mild 9/11 joke to this girl yesterday. You would have thought that I looked at her in her eyes and told her she was ugly. What are we doing? What are we doing? And it's like, God forbid you show a little humor as a woman. Just a little. It's like they have no sense of humor until it's like time to make fun of men. And all of a sudden, they're a jester. All of a sudden, they are the funniest clowns on earth. Those are fine. Let's make fun of men that are broke and fat, but God forbid we joke about anything else. You can't joke about anything that's going on in the world, or weight, or looks, or anything. But we can joke about
super true actually. Something that's interesting about traveling abroad, especially where I'm at right now in the Balkans, the people are a lot more laid back about the politics and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of them are into like dark humor and all this kind of stuff. It's just so much better, bro, on literally every single level. You know, when you're in America, there's like a constant anxiety everywhere. Like, you're constantly worried you're going to do or say the wrong thing. Exactly like what she's saying with the jokes. Like, there is such a small room for error. You either walk on this fine line or you're a terrible person.
Almost everybody at best is average at this table.
Why don't you rate us?
I can do that. I said I'd give myself a 4.5. You, Miss 10, Miss Perfect. Before I give you the rating, I'll give you some positives and some negatives. Your lips are definitely above average.
Okay.
Oh. You don't have to do that. That's okay. That's crazy. Good lips. Good lips.
Are they?
All right, don't get too okay. You do have blue eyes, but you're wearing the strumpet lashes.
I'm not gonna.
Can you turn that way?
This way? Or all the way? Or how much?
He's like brutal.
You know what? Look, I'll just say this. I'll give you a 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you 5. So you have a slight negative canthal tilt in your eyes.
I
You do have lip filler, you said? Yeah.
He's going
artificial,
full clavicular
wait,
right
can
now.
you turn face that way?
No, the side profile.
Okay, yeah, I do see the lip filler bump there in the lip.
It's pretty bad.
I'm going to go ahead and give you 5. You have nice eyes. You have a positive canthal tilt. You have hunter feline eyes. I think we got to give you...
At least an 8 or a 9, like for real.
I want to say 6.5.
This is what is single-handedly causing the male loneliness epidemic. What the are you talking about? Like, all of us, every single one of us is so much more attractive than you are. Even if we're not an objective 10.
Wait, hold on. So
he said he's a 4.
Actually,
of the people I've rated them more attractive than me.
Yeah, but we're significantly, not by half a point.
Even if I was a 1, you don't need to be a weatherman to know it's raining.
It's just the pure delusion, man. Because the thing is, they're living in fantasy land for so long. Someone just comes along and say, oh, yeah, you're about average, maybe above average. And they've been thinking and told they're a 10 their entire lives. So they're like, oh, what is going on? My entire reality is falling apart. Just always with the delusion, man. And the thing is, that's so interesting. I think women's looks are a little bit blown out of proportion with how important they are. And of course, I'm not saying that women's looks don't matter. I'm saying if you are an average looking girl and you put in maximum effort to make yourself look as good as possible, you're gonna do just fine. You really don't need to be a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10 to get a good man. Make yourself as physically presentable as possible. Do your absolute best to look your best, because it is important, but it is really not as important as our society makes it out to be. I really don't think so. I think it's blown out of proportion. The problem with our modern day women is what's up here. What's up here is completely poisoned. That is what is holding you back from being in a relationship. Because really, all 3 of these women, it's not like they're unattractive. They're fine looking. Especially the last one, she's actually cute. But the thing that would hold them back from getting a man and keeping him is what's up here. You have a TikTok, Instagram algorithm instead of actual relationship skills. Just focus on being more pleasant. Don't talk as much. Don't criticize. Do what you're told. It's easy.
Okay, another email with a candidate after I've shared a match suggestion. So this exchange is with a female candidate. This happened after I shared the bios and both of them signed off on it, and then I shared the photos. Her response: I'm going to have to decline. I specified in my profile that I go to the gym regularly and appreciate someone who has a more athletic build. Now, just to give you an idea, I would say that these two are in the same realm. She is very curvy and he is not necessarily an athletic build, but tall and broad. And by the way, he also specified that he's active, that he hikes regularly, and he leads an active lifestyle. So here's my response, and I've used this line before, but I find that this is kind of like the best way that I can say this is, I'll be honest that this will be a difficult match for me to make because someone with an athletic build will likely also be seeking that in a partner. I will keep your preferences in mind if I have other options. Her response: are you saying I don't look athletic? My response: no, I would not say that you do. Now, there are a bunch of things to unpack here, and I'm just going to go through them one by one. So this has happened to me a bunch of times already, where someone will kind of be a little bit confrontational and then expect that I will backpedal on my statement, which is what she did when she said, are you saying I don't look athletic? And then when I kind of double down on it, I think she wasn't necessarily expecting that. Now, what you are or what you aren't isn't my concern. However, when you expect me to look for something specifically for you on the basis of something that you think that you are, I have to be honest. And it's not really just about my thoughts either. I have a lot of data points. Now, there will always be the people who will call out, oh, just because someone's overweight doesn't mean that they're not athletic. And I agree with that. Overweight people can absolutely be athletic. But when I tell you that the majority of people who specify that they want someone athletic or anything related to fitness, they are referring specifically to the way a person looks. I think lifestyles is also a factor because they want their lifestyles to align, but usually that is the reason. And by the way, in the thousands of profiles that I've seen, any reference to any kind of specific body type that they want has always been slim, thin, slender, athletic, and never once has it been curvy. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who like that. What I am saying is that this is what I'm seeing in the profiles.
So bro, let's be 100% real. No one should be fat. No one should be overweight. It is unhealthy. But the thing is, a fat woman is worse than a fat man. Because really, for women, really, they only have one job. Because really, the thing is, for women, when it comes to attracting a man, they have one job. Literally, just don't be overweight. Don't be overweight. That's it. But for men, since we have so many different things that make us attractive, you could still get away with it, of course, but it's still not the ideal. Obviously, you should be in shape as well. And it's similar to what I was saying earlier in the video about women's attractiveness. A woman's attractiveness is the first initial thing that will invite a man to interact with her. Okay, so it is, of course, it is very important. But what keeps him around is your utility and how much peace you bring into his life. You can get men by being attractive, but you keep men by being his peace.
Men aren't the problem. Women's lack of accountability is, and that's why men are checking out of dating and nobody wants to say it. Women love to complain about men, how men don't want to commit, don't want to date, don't want to put in effort, don't want to do this and that, but rarely do women stop to ask what role they play in the problem. And trust me, girl, I used to be the same way until I realized what was really going on. The truth is, men are tired of being told they're never enough. They're tired of being called toxic for being masculine, tired of being shamed for wanting to lead, and tired of being treated like they're disposable. Why would a man want to date when he's constantly told he's the problem?
Pushing a man until he finally snaps, then running to your friends crying, oh my God, he's so mean and so toxic and abusive. That's one of the most lowest and evil forms of manipulation ever. You don't get to disrespect him every day, belittle him when he opens up, emasculate him for not being what you can't handle, ignore his needs, flirt with other men in his face, and use sex like a weapon. And then act shocked when he finally blows up or walks away. He didn't just turn into an overnight. You drained him. You chipped away at his patience until nothing was left. You trained the nice guy you met to stop caring. Good men don't wake up cold. They get turned cold by women who mistake his self-control for weakness. Then when he finally says enough is enough, you play victim and cry wolf. No, honey, you're not the victim. You are the arsonist crying about the fire that you just started. Grow up. So stop acting like you don't know what just happened. You know exactly what you did. You just never thought he would actually walk away. Now he's gone. Or worse, you've numbed him. And now you're on social media talking about how all the good ones turn bad. No again, honey. You burned him out. One disrespectful act at a time. Own it. Or keep pretending you don't know why every man after him stops trusting women like you.
Bro, because let's be honest. Most women will treat you as bad as you let them. Really. If you just started going out with a girl, she starts telling you what to do, insulting you, you say, yo, cut that shit out. Who do you think you're talking to? And you stop it right there. She has two choices. Fall in line, get in this guy's frame, or continue the bad behavior and get kicked out. That's what it is. But truly, this is why you cannot allow continual disrespect. You have to cut it off at the base. And this is especially in the beginning of seeing a girl. You have to shut down any disrespect, because in a lot of ways, how the relationship starts is how it's going to continue to be. If she knows this is not a guy that I can fuck with, then she won't do it. But if she knows she can get away with anything, then she will. This is just the truth, man.